Hi everybody, it's Diana with Stamping with Di. Welcome to my YouTube channel and this week's Mimeograph Monday with a Twist. And before I get started with our projects for today, I thought I would share some of the stuff that I got when I was antique shopping, thrift shopping with my friend Rhonda. She lives out in, I would say Hereford, and Jeff's like it's Hereford, but she lives like about 3 hours away. And she makes these really cute gnomes and other stuff, and I'll show you some of that. So we don't get together very often. I feel like I see her all the time because of Whatnot and Facebook and all that, but it was so good. She came Friday, spent a couple nights, all day Saturday. We had so much fun shopping and hanging out and going to lunch. So we also met Kelly Ann, and that was fun too. So I'll show you the stuff I got from her. So that's what I'm going to do first, and then we'll do our projects. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. My name is Diana, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I'm in Santan Valley, Arizona. So yeah, so during the video premiere, I'm in the chat room, so head on over there. I'll be there with my friends. If you're watching the replay and you have a question or a comment, just leave it below. YouTube lets me know, and then I can reach out to you. All right, so let's get started. So I'm going to just, well, do I flip my camera? I don't think I'm going to flip my camera because I think it's going to be easier to show you these things like from the front. Oh my gosh, so this is not going to be in any kind of order at all. So these are just a few of the things. All right, now I got some things from Rhonda. So like I told you, she makes gnomes, and I used to always have them up here, and now I have them around the studio. So these are just a couple that I have. So see, she makes these cute little gnomes. So this is like a bunny gnome. And then this is the little ladybug gnome. So she has all sorts of kinds. All right, so I'll just set those there. But she makes other things. She's so crafty. So she makes these little dolls. So look how cute this little guy is. So his hat comes off, and he has got his little pajamas on. So here is the Lola's Gnomes, so you can get her information. All right, and then here's another little doll, and I love this one because it's got the little kitty cat, and we have 2 black cats. Used to be the neighbors, but now they're ours. And so I just thought that was cute, so I got those. And then she got me this. I had ordered something off of her Whatnot, and the post office was very rough with it, and it broke. So she's like, well, I'll replace it. So while we were out shopping, went to a whole bunch of different antique and thrift stores. She found this, and you know me, I love sunflowers. So she found this little crock, and I put one of my Hoyas in it, and it looks so cute in there. So that is very cute. I also found this. Now, I don't know why I shouldn't say I don't drink coffee. I mean, I don't, but once in a while I'll drink like cold coffee, but I put so much creamer and sugar in it that I shouldn't drink coffee. But look how cute this coffee cup. It is so retro. And I was like, I am taking that home. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Maybe it'll have a plant in it. I don't know. But I just loved it. I also found this one, which is so cute, and it looks like it was made by Sue Ellen in 2011. It's the chicken picture is so fun, and it's really heavy, and then there's an egg on the back. I thought that was funny. All right, what else? Oh, and I found this. You know me, I like Ray Dunn. I don't collect it like I used to, but look how cute this one is. It has this really fun handle, so I was gonna put a plant in it, but I think I'm gonna put it on my desk, and I will actually drink out of it. I also found, look at this cute mug. Now I think this is Disney. I love fun cups, very unique, or like cups, pots, things to put my plants in, and I'll show you. And this is just a kid's cup. It's some sort of gargoyle or something. I don't know what he is. And then I just put one of my succulents in it, so it looks like That's his hair or his brain. I think he's so stinking funny. All right, I also picked this up. Now this is like a nut grinder, but I couldn't resist the colors on it. It's really, really cute. And what I like to do with these is I just put buttons or embellishments in it. All right, let's see what else. Oh, I also found these, not at the same place. You know me, I love sterling silver. These things were a mess. And then I cleaned them all up. I showed Rhonda how I clean the silver up. So look how cute this is. And this is actually a crumb catcher. So you scoop it along and it picks the crumbs up. Now there probably, the lady at the store said there probably at one time was a brush. So this might have been used on, I kept pretending it was used in the Titanic. And it went down with the Titanic. Somebody found it. I shouldn't laugh. It was not funny with the Titanic. But I've been on a cruise and they have these little, where is it? Where is it? I know I've seen it. I have it somewhere, and I think I've shown it before. It's on here somewhere. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. But, and they have the same kind of little things. They have this little silver thing, and it picks the crumbs up off the tablecloth. But anyways, but look how cute. And then it has like a big crest in there. But that was so fun to clean up. And then I found this one, too. And so Jeff Googled it. And they say it's a lasagna scoop. Because see, it's like etched on the side where you can cut. And that totally makes sense. So anyway, so I found those, cleaned them up. I found these, and I forgot about these when I was using the silver, but I'm sure that those tops are silver, so I need to clean those. And these ones are from Germany, I believe it says. Yeah, something Germany. You have to use a magnifying glass. But anyway, those are cute. Now these are the couple things I got from Kelly. So she makes these amazing tins. So look at these little tins. So it's like Hershey's milk chocolate. So if you want her information, let me know and I can get it to you. Look at, you know me and bees and honey. And what I do with these is I'll have a plant and I'll like sit the plant on it. So I kind of use it as a riser. And then look at this one. So this is a big one. So there's actually like years ago, there was a thing like campfire marshmallows. So she just kind of makes these tins. Like she shabbies them up, she rusts them up. She makes the covers, and they're just gorgeous. So anyway, so I have a couple of those around the studios, but those are the ones I got this weekend. I'm like looking at my desk. What else? All right, so I also picked up these. Now I got these at Goodwill, and these are like little pudding or dessert, things. But what I like to do with them is, so this is one I found one other time, and I put my carnivorous plants in them. So this is like a Drosera, and because certain ones, they like to be in water. Can you see that? So this is just filled with water, and it just sits in there, and then that catches the gnats and stuff. But can you see, like, let me get a little closer. See all of that juice on the ends of the plant? That is what attracts the gnats or the mosquitoes or fruit flies or what have you. And then the bug comes in and then it gets caught. So now I'm all like blurry. But, oh my gosh. And this one even has some babies, little tiny, it's just, see the little tiny greens in there? Those are like little baby ones. But, and it looks like she's going to, it's going to be getting a flower, I think. See that little curly? It's either a new leaf or a flower. But I love when they get the juice because that means it's happy and healthy. And so I just like to find fun things to put my plants in. This is also I got some milk glass. What would this be? Oh, it's probably like a wine glass or something. I don't know, but it's milk glass. And so then I put my picture plant in it. So see, it has that self-wicking, and it just sits in there, and it just looks like so pretty. But look how big my pictures are getting. Oh, isn't that so cool? I love my carnivorous plants. So this one is like a picture, you know. And this one right here, you can see. So they get this juice in there, and it attracts the bug or whatever. I also feed them not mealy bugs. We don't want mealy bugs. They're like little tiny worms. So sometimes I'll put one of those in there. But this guy's been, like the gnats go, oh, what's in there? And then they get stuck. But see how his little lid is open? So see that lid is open? So let me show you this one. So see this one here? He's like a newer one, and his lid isn't open yet. I know you might not be interested in this, but I think it's very interesting. So see this right here, this tiny little thing right there? That is a pitcher. So they start at the end of the leaf, that little tiny thing, and then it grows into a big pitcher. So anyways, I know that's not what you came for, but I'm just telling you what I like to use my things for. I like to, excuse me while I wipe my nose. I like to repurpose things, right? So, all right, so I don't think there was anything else. I think that was it. All right, so I'm gonna just kind of clean up my mess here, and then we're gonna get to today's projects. So if you have any questions, you know, about any of this, or maybe suggestions. Maybe you like to go antique and you go, oh, and I found this and I use it for whatever. I love your suggestions. All right, so like I said, let me clean this up and we'll get to today's projects. So I found this thing. This is that crumb catcher. So see, it's way different, but it's still like crumb. And see, there's a little thing right here that you would hang on your, like your pocket thing. But anyways, so I did find it. So there's a big difference between this crumb catcher and this crumb catcher. So I would love to do a little bit more research on this, just because it's so fancy. Like even the handle, and it's made by Oneida. And there's a unicorn and a lion crest and a knight in the center. All right. Okay, so now we will really get to the cards. Close your eyes while I get my camera adjusted and we'll get started. Because I am going to be doing 2 projects. Just in case you are new, Mimeograph Monday with a Twist is, I'm going to do a Stampin' Up version card. This could be in the catalog, this could be online exclusive, this could be off a flyer, but it's a Stampin' Up project that I'm going to do, you know, my take on how I think it was made. And then I'm going to do a card that is my taste, and I just call that Twist. So that's what we're going to do today. So 2 projects. All right, so I will flip my camera now. All right, hold on. Okay, so we're going to use caring animals. And I've had so much fun with this. I've done a few cards with this. And we're going to be doing this today. And I'm also using the new balloon festoon. And the assortment 2 watercolor pencils. This is just what I need right there. All right. I'm also going to be stamping with the Secret Sea, as well as Old Olive. All right, so let's get the pieces going here. All right, so the card I'm going to do is this one here. Okay, so it's Old Olive as the card base, and the lion's just stamped on basic white. So let me get him stamped so he can be drying while I do the leaves. And like I said, this is Secret Sea. I love Secret Sea. It's just a nice dark, it's a really, really, really dark blue-green. And this is a big stamp, so I'm inking it up kind of upside down. All right, so we're going to put our lion along here. And I'm just using my foam pad or whatever. Stampin' mat. All right, so we're just going to set him aside so he can dry. I need to take this off of here. All right. And then let's do this piece here. And I'm going to use Old Olive. And then what I did was on these leaves, I just put them like all on one block, and I just have them like going all different directions. And this is just going to speed up the stamping instead of doing one at a time. So I'm just going to stamp them on here. And then I'm just kind of moving my paper around. And I'm just using a grid sheet. These grid sheets are the ones that don't come with, but these ones work with the new Stampin' Positioner. So they're a great little size for my Pierce mat. They're just a tiny little bit bigger, but they work great to keep this mat clean. Okay, so there's that. And I think my lion, he should be dry by now. All right, now the colors that I'm picked out of the watercolor assortment 2 were Crushed Curry, Balmy Blue, Cajun Craze, and Coastal Cabana. That's what it looked like they used on their sample. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take, this is the Cajun Craze, and I'm just coloring. I'm not using the Stampin' Blends or the blender pen or a watercolor brush. I'm just coloring them right from the pencil. So just like you were back in school, coloring, you know, with your pencil crayons. All right, so I'm going to take, so this is the Cajun Craze, and I'm going to color his whole mane, not his ears and not the hat, but I'm going to color his whole mane with the Cajun Craze. And then his body will be that Crushed Curry. But I'm going to go over the whole thing. And I'm just kind of going lightish. I mean, I'm pushing hard, but I'm not pushing as hard as I could. And then when I go back to add more Cajun Craze in certain colors, I'll push a little harder, and that will give me like kind of 2 tones of the Cajun Craze. But I found it easier just to do the whole mane and then go back and add, you know, some darker, you know, the darker areas. Okay. So are you an Outlander fan? Did you watch the last Outlander? I had a friend here, I had Rhonda here, that I talked about, we went antiquing and stuff. And she doesn't watch it, so Jeff and I waited to watch it till Sunday because Rhonda had gone home. And, oh my gosh, I was crying so loud. All right, so that's all I'm going to say about it. If you want to talk about it off camera, privately, I would love to chat about it. I just don't want to get on here and talk about it in case someone doesn't watch it. They don't want it to spoil, or they're not interested. So I will definitely talk about it. All right, so that is the first layer of the Cajun. Now I'm going to take the same pencil. Now this time I'm going to go over a little darker. So I'm just pushing it a little harder. And that's going to give me like a shade darker in areas. So up here it's darker. And then we're going to leave some spaces where it's the lighter color. Okay, so this is light, light, this is dark. So again, I'm just using the same pencil. I'm just pushing a little harder. Because even like, you know, the whole Friday night and Saturday, I kept going, oh, I don't want to get on social media and have somebody spoil the show for me. So I don't want to do that to anybody else. All right, so there is the first layer. And so now we're going to finish with the crushed curry. And, oh, I forgot his little eyebrows. I always forget his eyebrows. All right, so hold on. So his little eyebrows are kind of dark. And his little nose. All right. All right, so now we'll do the crushed curry. All right. So I'm just going to color with the crushed curry on his face. His little snout, they just left it. So this is just a layer of crushed curry, and then his body as well. I just kind of go around in circles so I don't get too many lines in there, because this is a little different than coloring with the blends. Okay, so there is that. And then his little hat looked like it was the balmy blue. And Coastal Cabana for the little pom-pom. So isn't he so adorable? Okay, so let's get over to the card. So we have the card, which is Old Olive, which is the card base. And then this is that piece that we stamped on. And I'm just going to cut this up, and I'm going to flag it or give it a fishtail. So I'm just going to eyeball. That looks like about the center. So I'm just going to go up in the center just a little bit. And then I'm going to go from this corner to that cut line. And then the same thing over here. So that corner to the cut line. All right. And then this is just going to get glued right on here. I have to get my seal. All right, so we have our seal. And that's just going to get glued right there. All right, and then we have our balloons. So our balloons are Misty Moonlight, and I gave it a string. Oh my gosh, what is it? Darling Duckling, and that has a string. And Pool Party, which also has a string. All right. I'm just flipping these over, because I can tell the back side, because they get a little, sometimes they get little marks. See that right there? Just from the cutting plates. So I just have that be the back. And I'm just putting some dimensionals. All right, so we have the little darling duckling balloon. And that kind of goes here. Then we have the big misty moonlight balloon. And it goes here. And then we have the little pool party balloon. And he kind of tucks up underneath there. All right. And then these strings, I just used my green tip glue. And I just put it in this little bottle. So I'm just going to put a little bit on the end here. And just put a little bit on the string. And this is what I want my silicone for. So I'm just going to stick this in here. And then I'm just sliding this up underneath like, whoops, like that. So you don't see the top, you know, of that little thing. All right. Clean up some of my glue mess. And then we have the blue one, or the misty moonlight. So again, I'm just putting a little bit, and then I'm just putting a light, thin little bunch there. Same thing, I'm gonna slide it up, and then just let it, you know, go like that. Then we have the yellow one. And then I just kind of like visualize that one. Okay, this one needs a little bit more here. There we go. I'm just going to let those dry, and then I will trim them, but I just want them to dry a little bit before I mess with them too much. So while they're drying, let's put our lion on. And then I'm going to put, you know, because he's going to go like here over top of these balloons. So I'm going to put my dimensionals on here actually, so that they'll catch him. But over here, I'll put them on the lion. This way, if I put them here, they might get stuck on the balloon, and then he's going to be all lopsided. So this way, he'll just be nice and even. And these will catch this, you know, over in here somewhere. And then the rest of them, rest of the lion will just rest on these balloons. Okay. Just like that. And then I'll trim. So I'm just going to use the side of the card to trim the little tails off. And then here is the first card. So this is my version of the Stampin' Up, you know, Stampin' Up one in the new catalog. So see what I mean by that secret C? It just looks like black, right? All right, so now I'm gonna do my twist card. So I'm gonna wash my lion on my chamois, and I've just put them in. I have like a couple of them stacked, and I've just put them in an old stamp case, and I just take them to the laundry sink and squish them out, and then they just go in there. All right. Now I got some DSP, so we're going to use some DSP. All right, so I am in love with the Beautiful Ordinary Life designer series paper. I have ordered I don't know how many packs of it because it's just so stinking cute. It's got so many pretty colors on it, and then the back side is black and white. It also has a really neat scrapbook kit that coordinates with it as well. Look at, and it even has honeycomb. Oh, be still my heart. All right, and polka dots. So it's just super cute. Anyways, all right, so that's what I'm gonna use. And the colors are just fun with it. Okay. So I am doing this card very, very similar to the other one, but I'm just making it more my style. All right, so we have our little basic white. So instead of the secret C, although you could totally, use a secret C, I'm going to use my Memento Tuxedo Black. And you can get, like, when I'm doing the video, like, things change, the refill is back in my store. I'm not sure if the whole pad is or just the refill. So make sure you grab that while you can because it is on last chance. I'm going to still use Memento. I love Memento. I am not a fan. I have no filter here. I tell you like it is. I am not a fan of the new hybrid black. It is not playing well with my blends. Some colors it is, but not some. So I'm just keep sticking with my Memento. All right. But I have used the secret C. In fact, the card I made before this one, so I have one that I colored before. I colored with the secret C and it totally worked, but I wanted to do one with the Memento so I could, you could see the difference. But anyways, all right, so I have my cute little lion stamped. We'll just let him sit over there so he can dry a little bit. All right, so while he's drying, let me get the rest of my card ready. Now so here's the paper I used. I kept the card very, very similar to the other one, except I changed colors. All right, so this is Flirty Flamingo as my card base. I have a piece of basic white that's going to go on the inside, and I'm just going to put it down the side instead of the bottom. Let me get that out of there. So I'm going to put it along the side of the card. Usually I do it on the bottom, but I'm going to put it down here. You can put it wherever you want. And we'll just trim. So hopefully this will make more people need this set. I've had several of you order it, which I'm glad. But this set is so cute. All right, so this is just going to go on the inside here. Like that. And then this is like that one that I stamped the leaves on. But I used the striped paper like I did on the inside. But I am not going to flag it. I'm going to leave it as it is. So it's just going to go on the side here. And then my balloons, I used some of the designer series paper for my balloons. Now let me get my silicone over here. All right. Now the balloon die, and I used some of the paper. So I used, there's the paper that has all the different colors. I used that. I could not resist doing the polka dots. I also did the strings with crumb cake. So all the strings are the same color. And then the balloons come with these really cute little, like highlight, like I usually do with the gel pen. So it comes with these, but these look like little eyebrows too. So like you could, if you did like a circle, you could have some eyebrows on there. All right, so let's see here. So we're just going to put a little glue pen and just off to the side here. I'm just going to put that on there. So that gives my balloon just a little highlight. I'm going to put one on here as well. I'm just going to draw a little bit of glue with that. And there's 3 different sizes of them. So this one, you know, may have used the bigger one, but I'm just using that. All right, so I'm just going to draw like I did before. And since I want it to be this angle, like this might go on that side, because I actually see how you've got a bigger and a smaller. So it gives you 2, you know, different angles. I'm not worried about it too much. All right. And then I'm going to put my strings actually on the balloons. So I'm going to take a little green tip glue and right on the tip of the balloon, and I'm going to put the string right on the balloon instead of sticking it up underneath. I'm putting it right on there. But these balloons are so cute, aren't they? Okay. All right, now I'm going to set these aside while I color my lion, and that will give that glue like a good time to dry. But look how fun they are, because now, you know, your balloon has that really cute little string on it. All right, so let's bring our lion over. And you know me, I'm going to color with the blends. All right, so we have our blends. I'm going to close my memento because I'm not going to stamp anything else. So, all right, I do want my old olive. All right. All right, so I want to do, so we have our light gray granite, and I'm just going to put a little light gray granite just around the edge here so that our lion is on the ground. And now sometimes I'll do this and you don't end up really seeing it when I color, but sometimes you can still subtly see it. So I like to do my shadows first. All right. And all right, so let's do our nose. So we got our dark smoky slate. And then our dark gray granite for his little nose. So I changed his colors a little bit, you know, because this is my twist, right? All right, so we are gonna go, where's my things here? All right, so we have dark, timid tiger. So I'm gonna go right up from his head and go dark, timid tiger. I'm going to do dark, timid tiger here as well. Dark, timid tiger here. Dark here. Dark here. And here. And here. Okay, and then my light timid. So I'll just finish with the light Timid. So see, I go right over that gray. But like I said, like sometimes you can still kind of see it subtly underneath there when it all dries. But I just find it so much easier to do my shadowing first before I get all my colors. Just because you can see better. And also it just is a good habit to get into. I also want this Timid Tiger. It's a good habit to get into in case you do any kind of watercoloring. Because watercoloring, you can pull color more. Like with the blends, they pretty much stay put. But if you're watercoloring, they will move around. And if you add a shadow later, you could pull some color out from within the color thing. I know this is me blabbing and maybe confusing you, but that's why I'm just saying I do my shadows first. All right, let's see here. And then we're going to go, this is one of the new colors. So this is Crisp Cantaloupe, and I'm using the dark. So this is our dark Crisp Cantaloupe, and I'm just doing the rest of the mane. So you might see a little more of the gray with the cantaloupe just because it's a lighter color than the Timid. So this is dark. And I forgot his eyebrows again. I always forget the eyebrows. All right. Okay, so dark and light. Okay. And then his body, I'm going to do my favorite combination of 6 and 4 from the tones. So hopefully you like to see all the little things I picked up on the weekend. It was fun. It's always fun to go shopping with a friend. All right, so that looks good. Let me bring my dark Timid over here just for the eyebrows. He's got the eyebrows of Dan Levi. All right, so there is that. And then let me get my Flirty. Now we have Flirty in the paper, and I used it as well on the cardstock. So I'm going to put some dark Flirty on his snout. Then we'll, finish with the light. So it just gives him a little, kind of a pinkish nose. And I think it makes him look a little more friendlier. Not that he doesn't look friendly, but I think it just gives him, a little bit more friendly look. All right, so let's get our 6 and our 4. So now we're going to color his face, his ears, and his body. So I have my 4 from my tones, and this is the medium deep. So I'm just going to take my dark first. Kind of go up that a little bit like that. And then we'll go in with the 6 and finish it, but let's just put this down here where his mane would hang over his body and make it a little bit darker. And here. And here. And then we'll just finish with the 600. He looks pretty. He actually looks cute like this, right? He looks like he's like a Dalmatian or something. He looks kind of cute like that. All right, but let's finish him up. So this is the 600. So hopefully this will, if you haven't ordered this set yet, hopefully this will be the card that makes you go, you know what? I need that. It's too cute. And then I'm just going to kind of go in here and soften that line up a little bit. Color this in really, really quick. And then I'll go back and soften the line up. But it is a cartoonish drawing. You know, it's not like a true life drawing. You know, we have some that look like a real lion or whatever. But this is kind of cartoonish. So I don't necessarily mind, you know, the difference. But I am going to just go in there and just kind of soften those. I'm just squiggling my blend around. It'll add a little bit of texture in there as well. That looks good. All right, and then our hat is going to be Lost Lagoon, because that is also a color that's in that designer series paper. So we have dark Lost Lagoon and light. And then I have dark daffodil and dark lemon lolly. Okay. And then I want to take my old olive, and we're just going to put a little grass underneath. So just have my old olive. And we're just going to kind of do some grass lines. So not only does he have that gray under him, he's also kind of got some grass that he's sitting in. In the jungle, the mighty jungle. All right, so there's that. And then we have the gel pen. So I'm so glad you can get the gel pens now. All right, so I'm going to put a little highlight on his nose, a few little freckles on his cheeks, and then I'm just going to, you know me, I like to put little dots here and there. Little highlight marks. All right, and usually I make some marks on the happy birthday, but I'm not gonna this time. I'm gonna change it up. All right, so let's let him dry, let those gel pens dry really good, and we'll bring our balloons over. So we have our reddish balloon, and I'm gonna put these on with dimensionals, just like I did before. So I'm just kind of putting the dimensional towards the center. But now our balloons are attached to the strings. Okay, so we have the little baby balloon. And it's going to come up here. Okay. And then we have the bigger balloon with the cute little polka dots on it. And I'm going to go like that, I think. And then we have the smaller balloon. Like that. And he should be dry now, that gel pen. And then I'll do the same thing as I did before, where I put the dimensionals here. That way I avoid the balloon area. But then I put them over here so that he's raised over here. Just don't forget to peel the backing off. Right. And then he's going to go on there. Like that. So cute. And then I will trim these, but I'm going to wait and we're going to put some bling on this one. So these are the new array of dots, and they've got flirty and yellow and pool party and peacock, and these colors look adorable, and they might even come with this collection, to be honest, because these are some of the colors that are in this paper. All right, so I'm just going to put some around, and I'm going to use a variety of colors in the sizes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Just had a little something, something, right? All right, so here is my twist. Now I need to flip this over, and just like I trimmed them before, I'm just going to follow along the card and trim and trim. And it's up to you. Now I'm just going to leave these loose because they are glued to the balloon. So it adds a little bit of dimension to the card. Just be aware that they are like loose, so when you are when you're putting your card in the envelope, just make sure you don't catch these. If you find you are, you could put a tiny little glue dot back here, or a dimensional like on the back, and glue them down, you know, if you want. But I'm just going to leave them in because it is fairly short. All right, so here is the catalog version, and here is my version. Now here is, because I said I was going to let you see the difference. So this one I stamped with Memento and colored. This one I stamped with Secret C and colored. So see, it's totally, like, I had no problem at all coloring my lion with the Secret C. Like, I didn't get any bleeding. I mean, I let it dry. I didn't get any bleeding. I kept it, you know, within the lines, but I did go over the line a little bit, like when I did the snout. So, you know, keep that in mind. Try your ink pads, you know, with the blends. Maybe just try it on a scrap piece of paper before you, you know, do the whole thing. I did forget to put some little white dots on my hat. All right, but other than that, that is, I'll put the one that I did the Secret C, because it's just a little bit of a darker, you know, darker color. But I'll just show them both, because this one also, depending on where you die cut out your balloons on that paper that has all the different colors, gives you different colors. So this one I got a red balloon. These balloons are very similar, and then this one I got kind of a blue one. Oh, let me say, see you later, alligator. So hopefully You liked that. This is just such a fun set. And I was like, I don't think I did that card. I know I've done a Mimeograph Monday with a twist with the lion, but it wasn't this card. And I thought, oh, you know, now that the recipe is available, I don't have to guess what was used. All right, so I'm going to stop blabbing. I will see you tomorrow for my Teach Me Tuesdays, and that will be at 3 o'clock, Arizona time, same channel. Have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right, bye for now.